Well, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ron Tucker, and I'm here to bring the news. And the news I got to tell is pretty much what everybody's been talking about for the last few days, but every day I think about the debacle, the shame, the total disgrace that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and that Brian Green, or whatever the name is, Glenn, Marjorie Taylor Greene's so-called boyfriend. Those individuals, actually, they did put on a show, but it had shit in front of it. Donald Trump showed exactly where he's coming from, but really where he's been. He has exposed himself completely, in my estimation, and I've always felt this way about him anyway. He's an agent for Russia. He's been that way for a long time. And a lot of us who have seen through his BS, we knew it. We knew it a long time ago. It was so apparent from the first day he took over office in his first term. And when you look at all of the things that transpired during that period of time, there is no question to me that Donald Trump, he's lucky as hell. He's got that rabbit's foot in his pocket, and it's pretty much solid right now. No one in history has gotten away with more crimes and not be held fully and totally accountable like he is, or like he has. And it really is stunning that he has really just shown how much that he values being tied to Vladimir Putin and Russia, who is our enemy. But instead, he took the position against one of our allies, Ukraine. And some people, I guess they feel like Ukraine's not really our ally. They're not a big country, and they don't really deserve our generosity, so to speak, because they're trying to save themselves from a tyrant who invaded their country. And you got people here in the United States who feel like they should let Russia and Putin do what they want, have everything they want. And I heard a lot of people in the past claim that, oh, Barack Obama, he didn't stop Putin from annexing Crimea. He should have done something, and all this kind of stuff. Maybe they're right. You know, let's just say they're right about what Obama didn't do. But one thing Obama did do is stand up for America. And one thing Obama didn't do is get in bed with Vladimir Putin and Russia. Neither did Joe Biden. What'd you say, man? Oh, my fault, everybody. Hey, man, I know. I do it all the time, and I apologize to you. Man, look, I said I apologize. And what you want me to do? This is Donald the Clown, my sidekick, but he's having a fit right now because I don't introduce him immediately. Man, sometimes I'll get wrapped up in my show, and I'm trying to... What? You gonna kick what? You gonna kick my ass? You be a dead clown. But, oh, really? He said he gonna if he could, he'd step down off that balloon and get my. You know what? Best thing for you to do, homie. I mean, Donald. I call you homie if I want to. You a clown just like him. Y'all from the same family. Look here. Make a long story short. That thought bubble you got over your head, you better hurry and erase it real quick. And if you had any thoughts about getting in my grip and kicking my ass, and if you think one of your boots is messed up right now with your toes sticking out, the other one gonna be fucked up too. And man, after I get through with you, you look like you just came out of an explosion. You better hang around up there and chill out. So anyway, let me get back to the show, okay? I gotta deal with him like this sometimes, all the time. And he coming on kind of strong. I know he's a Republican, but you better mind your manners. Yeah, don't tell me to watch my mouth. You better watch yours. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Joe Biden never, ever indicated or showed that he was down with supporting Putin and Putin's regime. Wasn't going to happen. Wouldn't happen. Kamala Harris the same way. Putin definitely didn't want Kamala Harris to be in office because he would have got the same treatment or worse from her than he got from Biden. Trump's a whole different animal. Whole different story. This is incredible, folks, because when you think about an American president that has capitulated to the level of being looked upon as an agent for Russia right in front of our faces, it's astounding. It's unbelievable, really. Who would have thought? But when you look back on Donald Trump and his ascension to the highest office in our land the first time, not now, but the first time, you saw all the underpinnings of somebody who was trying his best to placate and serve Putin. And the people who don't want to believe it, a lot of them are probably his supporters, of course. Some of them are in a trance, a cult, if you will. They don't want to admit it because they don't want to deal with the reality of where they're at. Because many of them, his supporters, have said there ain't nothing that he could do that will make them walk away from him, make them not support him. And that's so interesting when a lot of those same people want to talk about law and order and patriotism and service to their country and blah, 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 all that stuff. So the law applies to everybody but Donald Trump. If Joe Biden had just came into office and indiscriminately started firing federal workers and other people in government, and those firings started having a trickle-down effect to other people, and you're supposed to be serving your country and taking care of the people of this country as president. But if Joe Biden had an agent like Trump has and Elon Musk and just sick them on everybody and said, go get them. Go after the waste, fraud, and abuse that is supposed to be so rampant in our government. I wonder how many of our citizens would have stood for that for one hot second if it was Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. You know what would have happened to either one of them, especially that black lady? Come on, America. Y'all know the deal. Trump gets away with everything. But see, when other people commit a crime, or if somebody else, and I know I'm playing the what if game, but you got to, because that's the only way you can just juxtapose what Trump is doing versus another scenario with someone else doing the same exact things. Joe Biden or Kamala Harris would have been in jail that same week, if not the same day. Now, if the Republican Party was in power like they are now, and Kamala Harris was president, but see, it's not a fair comparison between all three of those individuals, because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they have honor, they have a sense of duty and a sense of fair play, and they also possess integrity and character, something that Donald Trump knows nothing about. And it's obvious, folks, and evident. This man is so ridiculously obvious what he's doing and who he's doing it for. The $1 million question is, why? And all of us got theories. I definitely have mine. And I think mine are pretty well founded, even though I don't have the hard, concrete evidence or facts. But you look at the actions, the verbiage, the movements, all that kind of stuff. Going back to when he asked Russia if they can find those emails. Why? Back then, my first question back then was, why would he ask Russia? What do they have to do with it? Why did he ask Russia to find those emails if you can find them? Just out of clear blue. But he did. And Russia rewarded him because they were already involved. On one of my previous videos, it might have been the one that was yesterday that I dropped, went back in time to when Trump fired Comey because Comey wouldn't be loyal to him. Why would you, as President of the United States, fire your FBI director and then have Russian diplomats in there yucking it up with you about what you did? Any MAGA people out there want to explain that one? Or anybody in general? That sounds kind of odd, but maybe that's just me. But he wouldn't allow any American reporters in the Oval Office that day. We had to learn about what he had done from the Russian state TV. Sounds normal, right? In Trump world, it does. Oh, man. He went on from there, of course. And every time you look around, there was something involving Russia. When he went to Helsinki, reporter asked Putin, did he interfere with our election? And Putin said, yeah. Straight up, right there at the podium. Trump's standing right next to him, looking like a mummy. When they asked Trump, did he think Putin had something to do with everything, he said, I spoke with him, and he told me no, he didn't have anything to do with it. I don't see why he would. I believe him. He was bought and sold then, because again, Trump's sons told everybody in, I think it was 2015, that they got all their cash from Russia. And when you borrow money, and knowing how Trump is and how loose he was with money back then, and he needed big cash. It wasn't like he was going to the bank getting a $2,000 or $3,000 loan just to hang in there and survive in life. Trump was probably getting millions and millions from Putin. Putin didn't mind, because I listened to this former KGB agent that was being interviewed back in the 80s. And he explained to the host of the show that it takes about 20 to 25 years to put a country in a situation that you can change their whole mindset and start devolving them into an autocratic state or dictatorship. But it takes a little while, it takes a little time. He said there's about 4 stages to the process. I didn't remember all 4 stages, but I know one stage I did listen to intently when he got to it was the normalization stage. And that's when, no matter what the so-called leader says or does, his followers are going to follow him no matter what. And the inhabitants have already more or less, I guess, acquiesced to the lay of the land now and how you're going to be living now. And it's going to become normal because now you're used to being used and abused, so to speak. I'm just paraphrasing. But that's where we're at now, folks. I don't mean to sound like I'm spouting and talking about doom and gloom for our country, but it's looking kind of dark. Because look where we're at now with this orange agent running our country. Where we're at this moment, and everybody knows this as well, I'm just being redundant about it. When you have a individual who really has no authority to be involved with nothing in our government, and I'm talking about Felon Musk, he's getting all this money. They say about $8 million per day. He's the richest man in the world, arguably. And he's destroying people's lives because Donald Trump has basically sicked him on our government like a damn pit bulldog. And he's going through agency after agency and just dismantling them. And he's not being called to Congress. And right now we're screwed because we really don't have a functioning Congress nor a functioning Senate. Because they're Republicans, folks. And I'm of the mindset that I'm a Democrat, but I'm an individual that will vote for the best man or best woman who fits the bill and looks like he or she is capable of doing the job and working on our behalf, not on the behalf of our enemies. I don't care if it's Russia, Syria, China, any adversarial country. I'm not down with helping any of those countries undermine us. I believe we should work with them, but you damn sure don't work against your own country to service somebody else's, especially if they are our sworn enemies like Russia. Now, again, I will vote for a Republican if that Republican was normal. I ain't seen too many of them lately. Well, I take it back. Adam Kinzinger and Michael Steele, those two right there, there's some Republicans that I could see myself voting for if there was not a better qualified Democrat around. It damn sure wouldn't be Donald Trump. Never, ever. That's the difference, though. That's the thing about it. Is this the best the Republicans have to offer us? But we know it's mainly because of their base. And Republicans are caught between a fart and a shit. And I say that because they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. See, they have kowtowed and carried Trump's water for so long that they've invested in this man no matter what he's done. So they stuck. And they're not afraid of Trump, the man. They're afraid of his base. And therefore, they've already sold any integrity that they once might have had. See, when you look at these people on the Republican side, they are so afraid of losing their job that they've lost their mind and they've lost their moral compass, and they're just out there basically going through the motions, but mindful of anything that they may say that their king might object to. They know that's a bad move, because then Trump's going to threaten to sick the dogs on them. And now you see all these town halls and whatnot, and these people are rising up. I don't know how far it's going to go. I believe it's going to get real bad for Trump and the Republicans. But you got all these people now that are crying and boo-hooing about they made a mistake, and Trump has betrayed us. You betrayed yourself, and you played yourself. See, a lot of you folks out there, and the ones that I'm talking about, if the shoe fits you, put it on and wear it proudly, because you did when you decided that because of your inclinations to be hardcore racist, and also on the men's side, misogynistic, and you had women. And I'm going to talk about one that was on the political side. Nikki Haley. She was talking about Kamala Harris way before the election started, maybe a couple years prior. She was so concerned that Kamala Harris was going to become president, because if Joe Biden fell ill or was incapacitated and couldn't finish out his term, that was Nikki Haley's worst fear. She was talking about, we can't have Kamala Harris as president. That would be the worst thing in the world. So little darling Nikki, she started flip-flopping all over the place. When the campaign started and she got into the presidential debate with the rest of those individuals who called themselves running against Trump, they were so busy knocking each other out and making sure that they didn't say nothing negative about Trump. Oh, no. They could say anything, but they had to make sure they skirted around him and circumvented talking about him at all, because they didn't want to catch that backlash and Nikki had a chance, but she was too busy flip-flopping on her views and her positions and all that. And she was trying to court the black vote, but no, they saw through her ass. She's a phony, and still is. And then she hurried up and let him call her bird brain and all these other things. And, you know, when she was losing, Trump, he going to pile on her. And instead of her taking the high road, she took, of course, the lowest road she can find by endorsing his ass. She didn't get nothing out of that but ridicule and scorn. And then some of my, everybody black ain't your brother or sister. The Byron Donalds and the Tim Scotts of the world, those two clowns, no offense, Donald. Anyway, they prostrated themselves out to the point where, hell, they fall in love with Trump. Tim Scott, I just love you. And Byron Donalds calling Trump daddy. Daddy's home. That's what he said. But they supposed to have been two learned individuals, and it's supposed to have been so important to helping their pappy get it to the top. When he got there, he looked at those two coons and said, you know what? Thank you for your service, but your service won't be needed here in my cabinet. There's no more room in the end. Not for y'all two. Nope. And the HUD position's already filled by another black man. Look at my African American over here. Look at my African American. He's the master race baiter, supreme con artist, grand wizard, Agent Orange. That's what I call him. So, him and J.D. Vance, I already called J.D. The J.D. stands for just dumb. I thought when they perpetrated the lies on those Haitian people about eating dogs and cats, honestly, and that just shows you the unpredictability of a political race. Well, in a sense, the presidential race wasn't that unpredictable. It's just that, like I said earlier, racism and misogyny played a big, huge role in it. And voter suppression and gerrymandering of counties around the country, especially those swing states. Republicans made sure that a lot of those black votes were not counted. But anyway, I thought the low point when those two nitwits did that to those Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, I thought the race was over, and there was no way in the world that Kamala was going to lose. Matter of fact, she was ahead in the polls. If you believe in the polls, she was ahead of 3, 4 points, sometimes even 6. But she still lost. But I thought when those two individuals who lied on a group of people who were their constituents, they just happened to be black. It didn't matter to all the people that voted for chaos and confusion and now lost jobs and uncertainty in their lives. That's what y'all voted for. Now everybody wants to get on social media and cry in the blues. You should have thought about that when you were looking at both candidates. And even though you knew one was an excellent choice, the other one, Agent Orange, cuckoo. the man, during the campaign, it was just how can you put it? It was like a carnival sideshow. This guy was just talking about anything and everything that wasn't relative to a damn thing. America took another flyer on a convicted felon, an adulterer, sexual battery, twice impeached. He got in trouble that first time messing around with Zelensky trying to withhold funds from him then. And then brings us to last week. Again, just an abomination. 3 heads of state and only one showed class, courage, and integrity. These 2 jackals, Trump and Vance, they treated that man so bad. But to his credit, he dealt with them. He stood up to him. I mean, he was being hammered and cornered. They treated him like a hyena that was just sitting over a little baby antelope. But he fought his way out of it and walked out with dignity. And then this asshole, Marjorie Taylor Greene's so-called boyfriend, well, you know, he already got a strike on him for being with her. He got to have the audacity to ask, why don't you wear a suit? Don't you have a suit? Trump, Vance, nobody stopped him from saying that. I'm thinking, who in the fuck is this clown? Who is he to ask this president, does he have a suit? You had a suit on, and like Zelensky said, I might get a costume like yours one day, maybe better, but maybe cheaper than yours. Oh, that shut them down for a minute. And then Trump jumped into it, leaped on him, because he wasn't cooperating the way Trump wanted him to, or Vance. Vance gonna make this man say thank you for the millionth time. Folks, it was just a total embarrassment. And I think a lot of people don't know that Trump started it from the time Zelensky got out of his vehicle when he arrived. He told all those reporters and everything, said something to the effect of, look at his clothes, or something like that. Look the way he's dressed. And they said this was set up. It may have been, but possibly that was the precursor for what was to come. He's the president of the United States and acted like a complete ape, a buffoon. And his sidekick, JD, those two, what a tandem. Well, here's for all of you who exercise your right to vote wisely, and you decided Donald Trump was going to be, once again, the president of the United States. And also, once again, he inherited a stable economy like he did when that black man left office after his 2 terms were up. And that black man named Barack Obama is somebody Trump hates because he knows Obama stepped in office during a crisis from the get-go and handled it, took care of it. Trump took over an economy that was stable. And because he was just sailing along from 2016 to 2020, the economy was good. No thanks to anything he did, because he was too busy holding rallies, playing golf, and lying to the people when the pandemic hit us. He wasn't prepared, and he panicked. Now, before I go any further, I've always wondered, and maybe I missed it in all the years I've been on this planet and seen a number of presidents come and go. Can anybody tell me or share with me what I missed over the years? I never saw a president get elected and immediately start holding rallies. I thought that you held rallies if you were campaigning. But if you won, what was the sense of the need to hold any rallies? You've already won the presidency. Trump, to me, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, Trump was holding rallies all the time because he knew he was an illegitimate president. The only time you're going to do something like that to me is when you're insecure with your position. You didn't really earn it. He's a con, he's corrupt, and he knew. That's why he had to keep on trying to reinforce his support with all of his sycophants and his MAGA morons. Because he knows he's phony as a $3 bill. Always has been, always will be. And that black man always stands head and shoulders above anything Trump could even think about becoming, because Trump has no idea how to be presidential. Has no clue. Those fuck-ups at Arlington National Cemetery. Just a number and one more thing in the series of screw-ups throughout his whole political career. And the man doesn't know anything about being a politician. He knows how to bully people, and he knows how to lie and connive and steal and grift. What president do y'all know sells merchandise out of the Oval Office? America has watched this bullshit and between the ones who voted for this clown and supported him and now have misgivings, to the lawmakers, Republican senators and congressmen who are just, they got their feet in cement blocks and they are frightened as hell to do their jobs. They turned their, they gave up their power and their abilities to be a co-equal branch of the government. They ceded that over to a damn billionaire who doesn't have a fucking clue about how to be involved in government operations other than get contracts handed to him because of his billionaire status, because he's already invested money in Trump too, so he owns a piece of that fat ass. Right now, he's busy playing golf and lying to the people and fucking around with tariffs every other damn week. Now he's supposed to be initiating his vaunted tariffs he's been talking about for the longest and letting people know that it's coming, and been just totally bluffing all the time. Man, he might have stopped bluffing as of tonight. We'll find out tomorrow. I know the stock market dropped 650 points yesterday, so we'll see how it responds today. Anyway, back to his incompetence. Trump knew about the virus, the coronavirus. He knew about it months before it even hit our shores. But he told America that it will go away any day now, or next week, or any week after that. It's just going to go away. It's like a cold, like the common cold. And he had the nerve to confront Zelensky and talk about Zelensky was putting millions of lives in jeopardy and going to start World War III. All the while, that's exactly what Trump is doing. And he's responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Americans during the COVID period. Because see, when the body bags started beginning to pile up in city after city, he decided to give us some presidential leadership and told us to drink some damn Clorox. We'll be all right. Is that right, Dr. Burke? And when he did that, I thought I was looking at Jim Jones from Guyana, that cult leader that had all of his cult members drink cyanide and killed them all back in the day in Guyana. But I'm thinking, man, this fool's trying to kill all of us. And he had the audacity to accuse Zelensky of the same thing, of killing millions. See, his incompetence helped lead to the deaths of all those people in COVID. But of course, the media put that in their rearview mirror and moved on from his dereliction of duty. But it did cost him the White House with 2 impeachments on his resume. But now, he's back. Because you geniuses who somehow believe that your hero, Agent Orange, he would do a better job this time than he did the first. Because see, trying to kill your asses the first time, he didn't succeed totally. So now you're going to go ahead and let him try it again. Maybe he's changed by now. But see, y'all didn't think Kamala Harris was good enough to lead the country. Y'all figured that this coyote would be a better fit for America. Because see, she didn't have everything on her resume that Trump has. She didn't have a criminal history of convictions, nor a rap sheet or a mugshot like he's got. And see, her administration got things done when she was the vice president, but she wasn't competent enough because, I guess, first of all, she wasn't white. And her stints as a DA, an AG, a senator, nor being a VP, that was not as strong as Trump's resume, which consists of stolen classified documents, to name a few. See, that's where she probably blew it, because she didn't have that on her resume. And she didn't have a manual to guide her right now, like Trump does, Project 2025, that he's relying on. Yeah, the Dems blew it again. They didn't have a manual for Kamala to deconstruct the government. So now Trump said he would lower prices on eggs and gas immediately on day one. See, if you roll the dice with him again, he was going to deliver. Well, a lot of y'all did. And you rolled snake eyes again. Trump rolled his dice, and it was a pair of loaded ones. Now he and his sidekick, Felon Musk, are gutting every institution they can, and Felon is getting paid $8 million daily by a government contract. So he's got the inside track on all that. and firing people who are trying to survive, and he's just wiping out all of those charges against him because he was being investigated. See, Trump's got the legal system, the judicial system, the FBI, the Department of Defense, the CIA. He's got all those things on lock for his benefit. And you think Pam Blondie and cockeyed, crazy-looking Cash Patel are going to do anything to help anybody other than Trump? You're crazy. You know, Elon has no legal authority to do a damn thing, but he's got Agent Orange blessings. Now, after all of the race baiting, fear mongering about the enemy from within, hurting you good citizens, the illegal immigrants raping and killing y'all, you know, getting rid of all of them didn't stop your ass from getting fired, did it? See, Biden and Harris didn't fire you. They did. Trump said, "You're welcome." And last but not least, speaking of, gas prices and egg prices, all the things that Trump said he was going to do from day one, and anybody had any kind of brains at all, you only needed 2 sales to figure out the man was lying because he was trying to get elected. Most politicians do tell a few lies, maybe some lies. Trump lies every time he moves his lips. See, the average egg price of a dozen was $4.15 as of January 23rd, 2025, according to Fox News. Now, don't take my word for it. It wasn't MSNBC, it wasn't CNN. This came from Fox News. Hawaii is at damn near $10 right now. They're at $9.73. Here in Arizona, where I'm at, the average is about $6.03 on the average. You can get them at Wally World for about $5.79, unless it's gone up in the last few days. And the average price of gas nationwide is about $3.09. California is at the top of the food chain with that at $4.74 for regular, $4.92 for premium. Hawaii is next at $4.55 for reg, $4.77 premium. And in Mississippi, they're low. They're at $2.67 for regular and $3.10 for premium. Okay. So, with that being said, is it any wonder, or does it shock anybody, that Donald Trump bullshitted y'all again? How many times he got to do that, folks, until y'all finally understand the man is a crook? A crook. He can't say it like Tricky Dick. Oh, I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook at all. He is a crook of the highest order. If we get through this, and you fools out there that voted for Trump, you also better put your ire and your anger and your distrust on those other Republicans. Because y'all voted them in too. And look what they're doing for you as well. So, America, obviously, y'all still in a trance about Trump. Trump. Gotta have you some Trump. I bet you miss Kamala right now, don't you? I bet that sister sounds kind of good to you right now, don't it? Maybe not. I'm just saying. I don't think she'd have you in the situation that you're in right now. So you better think about it, folks. because if we make it through this one somehow, you ain't gonna get another shot at it. So, speaking on behalf of my ace up here, Donald the Clown, all I can say is, I'm not giving up nothing. I'm not throwing in the towel. They just got to come and get me. I gives a damn, because I'm American. I'm going to fight for mine. And I'll be damned if I'm going to wear some Cossack gear and start goose-stepping for Putin. But you never know when them damn parachutes might start landing and dropping down out of the sky the way Trump is going. But I think we're going to take his ass too, because he's going to keep on showing his true colors as the skunk he is. So, appreciate you folks for taking a look at my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will be talking to you folks later. Me and Donald the Clown, we're out.